Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We are working on Edmund Ironside and we get to meet Edmund today. We've made it to Act 1, Scene 3 and he finally appears and we get to see what kind of a king he is. But really quickly, a little recap. Edmund has been named king because of the passing of his father, but Canutus thinks that he should be king instead. He's a Danish guy, and there are some Anglo-Saxons, some Danes that are on Canutus's side. A couple of them, Leofric and Turkillus, want to defect though, because they feel like they are of a higher status, but treated more poorly than people who are of a lower status, like Edricus. So they want to go and side with Edmund Ironside. In the meantime, some other Danish country people have come to Canutus and they're like, for some reason our former slaves are rebelling against us and killing us and we're afraid for our lives. And Canutus has said, I'll take care of you. And Edricus suggested that Canutus, lead with an iron fist to win over the English people. And Uskatolf was like, you're an idiot. He's got to be nice to them because it's only through giving people what they think is free will that you'll be able to win over the English. So Canutus is like, yeah, I'll go that way. But then we find out that Leofric and Turkillus want to side with Edmund Ironside, even if it means that their sons who are being held captive by Canutus are killed in the process. And then yesterday in Act 1, Scene 2, we got to hear from Edricus and we find out that he's a villain. He comes from a very, very low station in life, but he managed to get where he is through lying and cheating and flattery and all this kind of stuff. And he likes Canutus better than he likes Edmund because Canutus doesn't know his whole backstory, whereas Edmund does. So he always feels like he's being looked at weird when he's around Edmund. But he's also willing to play whatever side is going to make sure that he stays on the winning side and doesn't get killed. So that's all the stuff. That's the way that the scene has been set. So in Act 1, Scene 3, we start out with Edmund Ironside talking to his chief advisor and most trusted general, Alfric. They've got lots of names ending in frick and in us, whatever that means. But Edmund is talking to Alfric and he's like, wait, everything's okay with the soldiers, right? Like everybody has enough to eat, everybody's getting paid, like all that's in order. And Alfric is like, yes, I check on them daily because I believe that if you take away a soldier's food and you take away a soldier's pay, then they're really not motivated to fight anymore. And Edmund responds saying, then do ye well, for I am of this mind. He that for private base commodity will starve his soldiers or keep back their pay, he that to deck himself in gorgeous tire will see his men go naked, die for cold, is a plain cutthroat to the commonwealth. A worthy captain, seeing a tall soldier march barefoot, halting, plucked off his own shoes and gave them to the soldier, saying, fellow, when I want shoes, then give me these again. But captains nowadays pluck off their soldiers' shoes, nay, sell their lives to make them rich and gallant to the eye. But soft, what are yon two strangers? So right before that last line, Leofric and Turkillus enter. So what Edmund is saying here, and this is just an opportunity for us to get to see that maybe he's a more decent king than Canutus is. He's saying, I agree with you, Alfric, somebody that's going to starve his soldiers or not provide them with proper uniforms or not pay them is damaging to the entire country. He's like a worthy leader. When he sees a soldier without shoes, will give his own shoes to that soldier and say, someday when I need shoes, then I'll get them back. But he's like, the leaders nowadays are taking their soldiers' shoes so that they can make themselves look great. And he very much does not approve of that kind of thing. So this is setting Edmund up to be a more caring leader than Canutus. And then at the very end, Turkillus and Leofric walk in. So he's like, who are these two people? And they stand forward and they're like, we've been with Canutus and we don't really want to stay with Canutus anymore. So we've come to surrender ourselves to you to either face our punishment for supporting him or to help you out if you will forgive us. And we will find out which way Edmund goes on that in tomorrow's monologue. But just based on what we know of Edmund already, what do you think? Is he going to accept them into his camp? We'll find out tomorrow. I'll see you then. Mwah.